Hello everyone, I am back and I am going to do a smoky eye for you. I popped into MAC yesterday because I'd seen Taylor Swift's album cover. In fact, she's got 4 album covers, and I saw one of them and I was like, oh, I like that eyeshadow. And it was kind of like a oil slick, you know, like if you see oil in the road with the dark grey but underneath it, and it has this kind of pinky, purpley, bluey tone to it, and I really love that colour. Hers was a bit bluer, but it made me think of MAC Club eyeshadow, which is this one there. So I went into MAC and bought it. I went especially into MAC yesterday, and they have no products anymore. I was really it made me quite sad actually, because I worked at MAC for 10 years, and I was like, oh, do you still have this? Do you still have this? They've discontinued everything. It used to be such a show-stopping, out-there makeup brand, and they've just stopped making everything good. And I was like, you still do Club, don't you? And she was like, yeah, we still do that. We don't do many eyeshadows or many eye pencils, but we still do Club. I was like, okay, I'll take a Club. £17. I think that's really expensive, but I had my heart set on it, so I got it. But when I worked at MAC, eyeshadows were £10. I know that's going back 10 years. I'm sure they were £10. But that's a lot of increase, isn't it? I'm sure they were £10. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought they were. Anyway, let's do a look. And although my inspiration is from the Taylor Swift makeup, it will be nothing like it because I'm much older than Taylor, probably 10, 15 years older than Taylor. But it's going to be just a nice smoky eye that will suit anyone, hopefully. I'm going to start with the eyes because I know this product will have a bit of fall down, and the colour that it is, having that kind of purpley undertone and it being a blue-brown, means that that's the colour that my eyes are dark underneath, so I really don't want to put makeup on first. I want to do the eyes so I can clean up afterwards. I've picked out a couple of paints that I want to use. I'm not sure which I want to use yet. I've got Veruschka by Charlotte Tilbury, and I've also got Golden Eclipse, which I think might be a new one, but this one is kind of a really yellow. What colour would you say that is? Brassy yellow gold? I don't know if that even exists, that colour, but it's kind of like that. I would say maybe a peachy. And this one is Veruschka, which is a greeny tone. This one underneath will make the eyeshadow really I'll show you, in fact. I'll show you what they both look like because it's nice to see them before they're on the eye. So I'm going to just pop a little bit of Veruschka on the back of my hand. So there you have Veruschka and Golden Eclipse on the back of my hand. I'm going to run a little bit of Club over the top so you can see. So over the top of the Veruschka, you can see it has that kind of, hopefully the light's showing it enough, that bluey, pinky, you know, it just reflects like oil. Over the top of the goldy one, it has slightly more of a pinky undertone. Can you see? Both beautiful, but very different. So I might try and mix both and see. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just going to have a bit of fun with it. I'm going to take a little bit of concealer over my eyes first, just in the very dark bits. I like to use a concealer as a base. If you are someone that's eyeshadow moves quite a lot, then you might want to take a primer. But I have quite dry skin and nothing seems to move on my skin. So I'm going to take a little bit of concealer just because my eyes are already quite pink. So I want to take that away, and I find it really distracting if I don't have a good base on my eyes before I do makeup, just because I don't like how it looks. I'm going to take a deluxe crease brush and just work that base in. That base is in the colour LM9. So you can see how much that's already made my eye look better. I bet this video will probably be terrible. You know when nothing seems to go right. You know, I couldn't get the camera to charge, I couldn't get things to work, and I was like, I probably should just write off today. Now to decide which one to use. I think I'm going to take Veruschka to start off with. And then I might use the light one over the top. So I'm going to take that all over. I could leave the middle blank and put the lighter colour in there, but I'm really bad at doing that. I'm not very good at that kind of light in the middle, and if you know what I mean, on the socket, the middle of the socket. I'm just terrible at doing it as makeup. I tend to use a synthetic brush for these sorts of products, these cream ones, because they're hard to pick up with a real hairbrush. Once I have the base, I'm going to take a soft bristle brush and just blend it out. Making sure I really blend the top part. Once that's blended, and before I jump to the eyeshadow, I'm going to go in with a Nars, this is called High Pigment Long Wear Eyeliner. This one's in dark brown. I don't seem to have a black, but I think dark brown would be perfect. I'm just going to take that top and bottom waterline. This is such a brilliant eyeliner. It stays put better than any others that I've tried. So I'm just going to close my eyes, pop that in. I have not done that for years, worn completely black inside the waterline. I do have a slightly red bit inside my eye because I had contacts in the other day and I touched them and I think my nail scraped my eye like a wally, so I've got a slight red eye there. I'm then going to go in with the Golden Eclipse. You can leave this bit out if you prefer, I'm just having a play, so I'm just going to run that in the middle of the eye, a bit that I'm terrible at. And then it's time to take my club. Let's see if it's as good as I remember it. I used to love putting this with like they did a colour called Tilt in Aquadisiac, and they're a really kind of bluey turquoise colour, and I always think they look really nice with club, but today I just want it to be a mulchy kind of deep browny blue, almost bruise-like eye. That is so nice and so easy to work with. I always have to remember to go up higher than I feel comfortable, so right into the brow bone, because it never shows as much. I always think, oh, that's high enough, and then I look back when I'm editing it and I'm like, oh, you should have gone higher, you should have been braver. I'm then going to go back in with my eye pencil and recoat where I put the pencil first of all in the waterline. This will seal it into place. One layer is never normally enough. You normally need two. First one is to kind of let it adhere a little bit. Second one is to seal it into place. And then you can decide whether you want to put the eyeliner on the top. I kind of love it without, but I know I will put it on the top as well. I'm going to take a little bit here because I always do that. That's just my eye shape. I like to take it a little bit out, and then blend that through. I'm not the sort that loves a black flick with a smoky eye. It's just not for me. Maybe I should try it one day, but it's just not my favourite. I like a smudgy kind of liner. So I'm going to smudge that in. So it just gives me a little bit more depth in the outer corner. I'm going to do the rest of the eyes, but I'm just going to stop for a minute and just clean up underneath anything that might have fallen down so I can move on to the next step of concealing before I do the finishing touches to the eye. So I'm going to go in with the same concealer, which is the Pat McGrath concealer in number LM9. I'm going to take that under my eye, down my nose, here, around my nose. What's this called? Jawbone, chin. Then take the same deluxe crease brush as I used before, because the brush is going to get quite a lot of product on it. Starting with the under eye where I want it really well blended. I tend not to put it too much in that corner because I'm 42 and I have laughter lines. So I have these here. And if I put it too far out there, then they're just going to show them even more. Which I don't mind having them. I just don't want to accentuate them. Accentuate, accentuate. I find that as I'm getting older, I have to lift here, so I put a lighter colour around this jawbone. It's not necessarily lighter actually, I just do put a bit more coverage, just because it lifts this area and makes it a little bit sharper. Without it, it just looks a bit, I don't know, just not as nice, I suppose. See how much the concealer's done? I almost don't really need a foundation with it, because the concealer has hit all the areas that I didn't want to be slightly ready. I mean ready as in discoloured. I also love to use a small brush so I can just get where I want it and not heavy-handedly all over. Next up, I'm going to take a little bit of Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. I don't need much coverage, so this will just give a nice glow to the skin. I've been raving about this foundation recently, which is a Huda Beauty Glowish foundation. I did a video about it on my Instagram, which is Nicola Chapman. Head over if you haven't seen it. This is my favourite foundation at the moment. It's just a bit too much coverage for what I'm doing now. I don't, with heavy eyes being slightly more mature, I suppose. Actually, in general, with heavy eyes, I don't like a lot of base. I think you look too done. So I'm going to use a Flawless Filter. That one's a tiny bit too much, but it is a beautiful foundation. So I'm going to take this. It's in the colour 4. I'm just going to take it. I don't normally put a foundation on my forehead, but I'll put a little bit of it. There's not much there. And I think that's about it, isn't it? Setting brush to blend that in, because I just want a little soft buffing of it. I'm going to go back in with Veruschka on a small precision brush, if I can pick any of it up. This product's hard to get on the brush. It kind of slips away. You almost have to put too much on. You kind of have to push it to get it on. I'm just going to run that under the eye. So it makes it a little bit smokier. Kind of like it without it as well. A little bit of my club on the same brush. Or if you wanted, you could put a lovely bit of turquoise through that as well. But I don't think I'm going to. Might look nice under the eye, but I actually really like it as it is. But it is definitely something you could play with, because you can see the turquoise as you move. It would look beautiful with those kind of tones, hence why I used to put it with that quite a lot. But I just like it. It's really eye-catching. Let's pop some mascara on. I'm going to use my Bella Wonder Lash Mascara. I love this one because it's like having false lashes on. Let's put tons of it on. And I struggle with false lashes. My eyes are a little bit sensitive. I can wear them, just I struggle a bit. Whereas this just gives you so many lashes anyway. Really blink into the mascara so it's dragging its way through the lashes. I'm going to pop it on my bottom lashes as well. I'm sorry if you can't see me if I'm looking down too much. I need to position the camera lower probably. I'm not going to do anything through my brows because I dyed them the other day and they're nice and strong, and I actually think for me, brows with this, they're already quite structured because I dyed them. So if I was to colour them, then it takes the whole makeup to a different level. I'm going to take a little bit of Beaver, this one is in the colour Tan, on a Real Techniques Multitask mini brush. Just give me a little bit of colour through the cheeks. It's the beautiful cream bronzer that's far more affordable. And it comes in lots of colours. I'm going to take a little bit of this Huda Beauty Perky Peach cream blusher and just pop it on the top of the cheekbone. And I'm going to use the setting brush that I used for the airbrush Flawless filter, just to buff that over the top of the cheekbone, just to give me a slightly pinky tone going up the top of the cheekbone. I have just been sent this, actually, it arrived yesterday. This is the Airbrush Brightening Flawless Finish from Charlotte Tilbury, which is an invisible powder, but it's for under the eyes. Shall we give it a go? I've not tried it, so I'm going to take some of that and pop it under my eye, and it's meant to brighten. What do you think? I wonder if it's invisible. It has quite a little bit of a whiteness to it. I don't know whether it might make dark skin look ashy, that. Is it only in one colour? No, this is fair and medium, so it does come in other colours. Phew, I doubted it for a second then. So I'm just going to take that under the eye. Might be a little bit too light reflective for me. However, I'm going to use over it. I do love Charlotte Tilbury's Airbrush Flawless powder, but I'm also obsessed with the Glowish powder by Huda Beauty. Again, I'm loving this range, this Glowish range. I love the fact that it really allows the skin to glow through, whereas the Airbrush Flawless finish does give you an airbrush flawless finish. This just allows the skin to do its thing. It doesn't take all the hard work that you've put in away. And I'm going to run that over the under eye because I think for me it's a bit too stark light, and I feel like this over the top just takes that whiteness away. And I think I'm finished. I know everyone will be like, put a lip on. I don't like to wear a lip. I'm very strange, but I will put one on. Lips, I have got this Hourglass lipstick in Mist. This is a nice colour. Let me just take away any makeup that's on my lips. Still some on there a bit, but... I definitely don't want my lips to look drawn. I don't want them to look like I've penciled them. I want them to look like my lips naturally. And there you have the finished look. I might actually wear this to my friend's birthday party tomorrow. I really like it, although I'm doing her makeup, so maybe she'll want this done on her. But I really, really like it. And it's pretty easy, even though it took me a long time to talk through it because I was just finding products as I was going. But I really like it. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. See you soon. Love ya. Bye.